University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Two more teams of almost irritatingly clever young people are playing each other tonight, with a place in the second round for whichever team can out-wonk the other. The losers may earn the chance to play again if they're among the four highest-scoring losing teams from these first-round matches. Now, St Edmund's College, Cambridge, hasn't been seen in this competition since 2004. It was founded in the late 19th century after the repeal of the Universities Tests Act in 1871, which allowed Roman Catholics to take up fellowships for the first time since the Reformation. The team modestly tells us that no one of any note goes to St Edmund's, but research reveals that previous Eddies include the former leader of the House of Commons, Norman St John Stevens, and Father Georges Lemaitre, widely acknowledged as the father of the Big Bang Theory. The college has a policy of taking students over the age of 21, and tonight's team have an average age of 25, representing around 470 students. Let's meet the St Edmund's team.
Hi, I'm Zhu Tongxing from Singapore, and I study chemical engineering.
Hi, I'm Alex Knight-Williams from Putney, and I'm studying mathematics.
And this is their captain.
Hello, I'm Sahib Matala from London, and I'm reading economics.
And I'm Ryan Blank from San Jose, California, and I'm reading history.
Now, Magdalene College, Oxford, dates back to the mid-15th century, and at the time of its foundation, it was the largest college in Oxford. The author and theologian C.S. Lewis and the historian A.J.P. Taylor were fellows there, and former students include Oscar Wilde, John Betjeman, and more recently, Ian Hislop. The team tell us their selection process involved blind auditions, a gruelling boot camp, and a gladiatorial death match on the buzzer. Let's see if it pays off for them. With an average age of 20 and representing around 570 students at an institution which has won this competition 4 times, let's meet the Magdalene team.
Hi, I'm Winston Wright from Seattle, Washington, and I study computer science.
Hi, I'm Christopher Stern from Dulwich in London, and I'm reading chemistry.
And this is their captain.
Hello there, I'm Johnny Gibson, I'm from Glasgow in Scotland, and I'm studying history.
Hi, I'm Sarah Parkin, I'm from Hinckley in Leicestershire, and I'm reading English and French.
Well, you all know the rules, of course. 10 points for starters, 15 points for bonuses. Starters are individual efforts, bonuses are team efforts. 10 points at stake, then, for the first starter for 10. Fingers on the buzzers. More than 1,500 kilometres in length, Rio Solimois is a name given to the upper portion of which major river? Its brown, muddy waters join the darker waters of the Rio Negro near the city of Manaus.
St Edmund Zoo.
Amazon?
Correct. St Edmunds, you get the first set of bonuses. They're on educational philosophy. Firstly, in 1837, the German educator Friedrich Froebel founded what type of infant school, now the first unit of elementary school in the US?
Kindergarten?
Correct. Born in the Austrian Empire in 1861, which philosopher founded the Waldorf school movement based on his ideas of anthroposophy?
Any philosophers? Okay, we'll just pass.
That was Rudolf Steiner. And finally, born in 1870, which Italian educator originated an eponymous educational system that uses self-directed activities and self-correcting materials?
Zoo?
Montessori?
Maria Montessori is correct. 10 points for this. Sometimes described as the most famous Kurd in history, which Muslim ruler overthrew the Fatimid Caliphate in Egypt and in 1187 recaptured Jerusalem after...
Magdalene Gibson.
Saladin?
Saladin is right, yes. Your bonuses, Magdalene College, are on sleep in Shakespeare. Firstly, for 5, the final speech of which play by Shakespeare invites the audience to consider they may have been asleep rather than watching a stage production.
Yeah, Midsummer Night's Dream.
Correct. Shakespeare used the word sleep most frequently in A Midsummer Night's Dream and in which of his tragedies, in which it is said to knit up the ravelled sleeve of care?
Macbeth.
Correct. Who murdered Sleep, of course, famously. In which of Shakespeare's tragedies does the main antagonist describe a kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs?
Othello, maybe? Could that be
I
something
don't
might say?
recognise that first.
Okay, Othello.
Othello is correct, yes. 10 points for this. Born in Vienna in 1902, who proposed the paradox of tolerance, namely that unlimited tolerance must lead to the disappearance of tolerance? The argument appears in the 1945 work, The Open Society and Its Enemies.
Maudlin Gibson.
Karl Popper.
Karl Popper is correct. A set of bonuses on physics in the 1970s for you guys. The 1971 Nobel Prize for Physics was awarded to the Hungarian-born Denis Gabor for his invention of what technique? It utilises the interference between two parts of a split laser beam to produce a photographic image without a lens.
Holography.
Correct. Burton Richter and Samuel Ting shared the 1976 Nobel Prize in Physics for the discovery of the J-psi particle. This heavy particle proved the existence of what?
I think it's the charm quarks. Charm quark.
Charm quarks.
Charm quark is correct. In 1974, the first Nobel Prize in Physics to be given for astronomical research was awarded jointly to Anthony Hewish and which fellow radio astronomer? He held the post of Astronomer Royal at the time of the award.
No, I'm lost.
Martin Rees.
No, Sir Martin Ryle. 10 points for this. Reconstructed in 1907, the Great Mosque of Jenny is part of a World Heritage Site in which West African country?
St Edmund's Knight Williams.
Mali.
Mali is correct, yes. These bonuses are on fathers and sons in Greek legend, St Edmunds. In different accounts, who was variously killed, lamed or struck blind by a thunderbolt for revealing that the goddess Aphrodite was the mother of his son Aeneas?
Anchises.
Correct. Which sea takes its name from the father of Theseus? He flung himself from the Acropolis when Theseus forgot to raise a sign to show he'd returned alive from killing the Minotaur.
Aegean Sea.
Correct. And finally, for 5 points, during the sack of Troy, which son of Achilles and Didymaia killed King Priam at an altar? He later took Hector's wife as his concubine.
Aiat.
No, it's Pyrrhus. 10 points for this. In logic, the symbol of a double-headed horizontal arrow or three horizontal lines indicates a biconditional...
Maudlin Wright.
Congruence.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. A biconditional logical connective between statements, also represented by the written abbreviation IFF. For what does the abbreviation stand?
St Edmund's Knight Williams.
If and only if.
If and only if is correct. Another set of bonuses for you, St Edmunds. They are on birdsong in music. Born in 1908, which French composer and ornithologist is noted for incorporating birdsong into many of his compositions? Examples include Chronochromy and Catalogue d'Oiseaux.
Messiaen.
Messiaen is correct. Described as a concerto for taped birdsong and orchestra, Cantus Arcticus is a 1972 work by which composer born in Helsinki in 1928?
Sibelius.
No, it's Rautavaara. First performed in 1808, which symphony includes a cadenza in which woodwind instruments are used to represent the calls of the nightingale, the quail and the cuckoo?
Beethoven.
Beethoven's... Which one? Come on.
Sixth Symphony.
Sixth is correct, yeah, the pastoral. Right, we're going to take the picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a short quotation in French. For 10 points, please tell me the philosopher to whom it is attributed.
Maudlin Parkin.
Voltaire.
Voltaire is correct. If God did not exist, then we would have to invent him. Right, 3 more short quotations from French philosophers for your bonuses then, Maudlin, all in the original language. In each case, for 5 points, simply identify the philosopher in question. Firstly, for 5, who wrote this?
Oh, is that Pascal?
Yeah,
Pascal's wager. Pascal.
It is Pascal, Blaise Pascal. If you win, you win everything. If you lose nothing. That's his wager, famously. Secondly...
Who plays with cats? Oh, wait. Who was that?
Who knows if she passes? Right.
What? It's like I've no idea, like...
It's not Sartre.
Descartes.
No, that's Montaigne. When I play with my cat, how do I know she's not playing with me? Finally, who's this?
Oh, yes, of course it is. Simone de Beauvoir.
It is, yeah. One is not born, but the other becomes a woman. 10 points for this. Which lowercase Greek letter represents in biochemistry a protein implicated in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's? In particle physics, a charged lepton with a mass of 1,777
St Edmunds Motala.
Rho.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. 1,777 mega electron volts, and in mechanics, torque.
Magdalene Stern.
Tau.
Tau is correct, yes. Right, a set of bonuses, this time on the Mayfair district of London, Magdalene. Based in Mayfair, which organisation was founded in 1799 for diffusing the knowledge and the application of science for the common purposes of life?
Go for it, older.
Yeah. Royal Society.
No, it's the Royal Institution. The Royal Society is a 17th century foundation. Secondly, supposedly located in Mayfair's Dover Street, which members-only club appears in novels by P.G. Wodehouse and has been described as arguably the best-loved London club in fiction?
The Drones Club.
Correct. And finally, which area of central Mayfair features in the title of a popular romantic song covered by, among others, Vera Lynn and Nat King Cole?
Berkeley Square. Nightingale sang Berkeley Square.
Berkeley Square.
Berkeley Square is correct. A Nightingale sang there. Right, 10 points for this. From the 10th century, Fulk the Red, Fulk the Good, Fulk the Black and Fulk the Surly were among counts of which historical region of France? A term derived from the region's name was later given to the empire ruled by Henry II of England.
St Edmunds Blank.
Anjou?
Anjou is correct, yes. Here are your bonuses. They're on stereoisomers in chemistry. Firstly, what term is commonly used for each of the two stereoisomers that are mirror images of each other but are non-superimposable and thus not identical?
Enantiomers. Sorry. Enantiomers.
Nominate two.
Enantiomers.
That's correct, yes. What term describes an equimolar mixture of two enantiomers that does not exhibit optical activity?
Racemic.
Racemic.
Racemic mixture, correct. And depending on how they rotate, plane polarized light enantiomers may be classified as D or L isomers. For what do the letters D and L stand?
Dextro and Levoro.
Dextro and Levoro.
It's dextro and levorotatory. Is that what you said?
No, I just gave the prefix.
OK, fair enough. I can't give you the points then. 10 points for this. Of interest in part because they can be used to constrain the change of fundamental constraints over time, examples of what type of power source operated at over 15 separate sites about 2 billion years ago within ore deposits at Oklo in Gabon?
Magdalene Stern.
Nuclear fission.
Nuclear fission reactors is correct, yes. These bonuses are on Spanish cities and their patron saints. Firstly, martyred in the 3rd century, Justa and Rufina are the patron saints of which Andalusian city? They're often depicted with the city's Giralda Tower as one of their attributes.
The tower is that.
Might be Seville or...
I was thinking like Cod. Doesn't make sense. Like Grenada. Is Grenada?
could be
I don't know. Go for what you said. That's more sense.
Seville.
Seville is correct. The cathedral of which Mediterranean seaport is dedicated to Saint Eulalia, who was martyred in around 300 during the last wave of Roman persecution?
Could be like Cadiz. That's a seaport.
Is that Mediterranean though? Or
Yeah.
on the south coast.
Oh,
I don't know. Go.
do we have anything better? Cadiz.
No, it's Barcelona. Saint Leocadia is a patron saint of which city in Castile, at one time the capital of the Visigothic kingdom?
Oh, wait. What would that have been?
It's like it's relatively central.
Maybe Segovia?
Go for it.
Segovia?
No, it's Toledo. Right, we're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you're going to hear an excerpt from a film score. 10 points if you can identify its composer.
Magdalene
Is it
Gibson.
Mavis Jar?
No, you can hear a little more, St Edmunds.
St Edmunds Knight Williams.
Hans Zimmer.
No, it's John Barry. We're going to take the music bonuses in a moment or two then, and 10 points at stake for this starter question. What common surname links the first US president to be impeached, the first female pilot...
Maudlin Gibson.
Johnson.
Johnson is correct, yes. So, lucky old you, Maudlin, you get the music bonuses. That music you heard was by John Barry. It was the theme to Out of Africa. He's the only composer to have won a Golden Raspberry Award for the worst musical score and then gone on to win the Academy Award for the best original score for a different film. All three composers coming up have also been nominated for a Golden Raspberry, but you'll hear an excerpt from the score which won them an Oscar. Firstly, who composed this from a film released in 1976?
That's from The Omen. Is it by... It might be Jerry Goldsmith. If you say so. Is it Jerry Goldsmith?
It is Jerry Goldsmith. That was from The Omen, yes. Well done. Secondly, who was the composer for this film released in the 2010s?
That could be Hans Zimmer. Possibly? Yeah. Hans Zimmer?
No, that's Ennio Morricone. That was the theme from Quentin Tarantino's 2015 film, The Hateful Eight. And finally, who composed this from a film released in 1978?
Who's your favourite? Say that.
What was that? Fast work.
No, that's Giorgio Moroder. That was from Midnight Express. So, 10 points at stake for this starter question. Listen carefully, then answer promptly. My brother is an aficionado of oolong tea. Give the dictionary spelling of the word...
Maudlin Gibson.
O-O-L-O-N-G.
No, you lose 5 points of the word aficionado in this sentence. One of you bars, come on.
Edmund Matala.
A-F-F-I...
No, it's one F. It's aficionado. Oolong, you're quite right, no doubt. Right, 10 points for this starter question. After the English calico printer, who discovered it in 1844, what term denotes the process in which cotton yarns and fabrics under tension are treated with aqueous sodium hydroxide in order to increase their lustre?
Maudlin Parkin.
Bleaching?
No, anyone like to buzz from St Edmunds?
St Edmunds Zoo.
Immersion?
No, it's mercerization. 10 points for this, then. What initial letter links the names of countries that border Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Kuwait, Papua New Guinea and the United Kingdom?
St Edmunds Zoo.
I.
I is correct. These bonuses are on music, St Edmunds. Which US composer's landmark 1964 work in C has no fixed duration and starts with the note C played repeatedly in a steady rhythm?
Who's this? John Cage.
No, it's Terry Riley. Terry Riley is among those to have written works for which influential string quartet founded by the violinist David Harrington in Seattle in 1973?
Emerson. String Quartet.
We happy with it? Sure. Emerson String Quartet.
No, it's the Kronos Quartet. And finally, the Kronos Quartet's 1988 album, Winter Was Hard, includes works by Terry Riley and a recording of the 1977 composition Fratres, written without fixed instrumentation by which composer?
Stockhausen.
Nominate Zoo.
Stockhausen.
No, it's Arvo Pärt. Right, another starter question now. The only words uttered by the title character of which narrative poem of 1842 are I am half sick of shadows and the curses come upon me?
Maudlin Gibson.
The Lady of Shalott.
Correct. These bonuses, Maudlin, are on British armies in India. In 1751, Robert Clive captured the fortress of Arcot on the route between Bangalore and which other present-day Indian state capital on the Coromandel coast?
Oh, we're going to state afterwards.
Not too good.
Is it like Hyderabad?
Oh, it could be. Yeah, possibly. Hyderabad.
No, it's Chennai or Madras as it was then. Secondly, the capital of Uttar Pradesh. Which city was the scene of a notable siege of 1857 during the Indian Rebellion or Mutiny?
I mean, it's possible that could be Hyderabad. Oh, no, I'll tell you what it says. It's Lucknow.
That sounds better.
Lucknow.
Lucknow is correct. The capitals of Nagaland and Manipur gave their names to battles of 1944 that became a springboard for the 14th Army's reconquest of Burma. Name either battle.
Well, actually, is Nagaland. Like, we don't actually know what these
No
things
idea.
are.
We don't know.
They're Kohima and Impal. Right, we're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a distinctive cultural artefact made during which particular Chinese dynasty?
St Edmund's blank.
Ming.
Ming is correct, yes. Following on from that Ming vase, 3 more iconic cultural artefacts from particular Chinese dynasties. Again, simply name the relevant dynasty. You may give the usual English spelling if you're unsure of the pronunciation. Firstly, this object.
I think it's quite modern.
No, I think it's quite old.
Old.
I was going to say
don't know any dynasties.
maybe.
The Han.
Han?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nominate wine.
Oh, dear. Han?
Han is correct, yes, the Eastern Han. Secondly, this ritual vessel.
Chin.
Maybe.
Chin.
Oh,
That's
Chin.
We'll go the Qing dynasty.
No, it's the Shang dynasty. And finally, during which dynasty were these objects made?
Chin. Qin.
I nominate 2.
Chin.
That is the Qin dynasty, yes. Right, 10 points for this. What 5-letter word was used in the mid-19th century to mean a lucky stroke in billiards and can now mean a parasitic flat worm, a part of an anchor, or a surprising twist of fortune?
St Edmund's Zoo.
Fluke.
Fluke is correct, yes. These bonuses, which could give you the lead, are on chemistry. Firstly, also known as the OXO process, hydroformylation involves the addition of carbon monoxide and hydrogen to an alkene to form what organic compounds?
Alcohols.
Alcohols.
That's aldehydes. Secondly, an aldehyde reacted with a Grignard reagent will produce an alcohol. What metal is used to make a Grignard reagent?
Magnesium. No, wait. Oh, I did this last year. I can't. Magnesium.
Magnesium.
Magnesium is correct. What alcohol would be formed by the oxidation of formaldehyde?
Ethanol.
Ethanol.
No, it's methanol. 4.5 minutes ago, 10 points for this. In astronomy, what 2-word term denotes the time taken for the sun to return to the same position in the sky with...
St Edmund's Zoo.
Sidereal Day.
Nope. You lose 5 points to return to the same position in the sky with reference to the background of fixed stars.
Maudlin Stern.
Solar year.
It's a sidereal year. 10 points for this. Listen carefully. The 3rd meridian west crosses the Firth of Forth just to the east of Edinburgh. In which county does it meet the English Channel at a point on the Jurassic coast?
Maudlin Stern.
Dorset.
Anyone like to buzz from St Edmunds?
St Edmund's Zoo.
East Sussex.
No, it's Devon. He's next door to Dorset, of course. Right, another starter question now. A little larger than Scotland, what is the most sparsely populated US state east of the Mississippi? Its highest point is Mount Katahdin, the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail.
Maudlin Gibson.
Maine.
Maine is correct, yes. Your bonuses now are on Italian neo-realist cinema, Maudlin. Directed by Vittorio De Sica, which 1948 film concerns a father and son search for their...
Bicycle Thieves.
Bicycle Thieves is correct. Which director's war trilogy began with the 1945 film Rome, Open City?
Rossellini.
Rossellini is correct. And finally, Luchino Visconti's 1942 film Ossessioni was an adaptation of which novel by James M. Cain?
The Postman Always Rings Twice.
The Postman Always Rings Twice is right. Another starter question used in photography. Which yellowish, light-sensitive compound has the chemical formula...
St Edmund Zoo.
Silver iodide.
No, you lose 5 points. Has the chemical formula AgBr.
Magdalene Stern.
Silver bromide.
Silver bromide is correct, yes. Your bonuses this time, Magdalene, are on human physiology. Noted for its great functional complexity, what is the largest gland of the human body?
Which one are you saying?
Probably.
Thyroid?
No, it's the liver. The metabolic pathway known as GNG occurs mainly in the liver. For what term do these letters stand?
Gluconeogenesis?
Nominate Stern.
Gluconeogenesis.
Correct. Which two vessels supply blood to the liver?
So it's the hepatic portal vein and the hepatic artery, I think.
OK, nominate Stern again.
Hepatic portal vein, hepatic artery.
Correct. 10 points for this. Which artist painted the early 14th century frescoes of the lives of Jesus and the Virgin Mary that covered the internal walls of the Arena Chapel in Padua?
Magdalene Gibson.
Giotto?
Giotto is correct, yes. These bonuses are on Russia and the United States. The reign of which Russian Tsar spanned the presidencies of Cleveland, McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, Taft and Wilson?
The start of the...
Yeah, so who's
Oh, wait, it'll be Nicholas II, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicholas II.
Correct. Who acceded to the Russian throne when Thomas Jefferson was in office and died during the presidency of John Quincy Adams?
This is early
1800s, so do we have any names?
I don't think we do.
I thought she was slightly later. When did they get Alaska? I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Say it.
It was 1810.
Catherine the Great.
No, it's Alexander I. Who was the only US president during the reign of Catherine the Great?
You know when this was.
Do we have a year?
Like, Washington, then?
No, she was... When did people get when did the US get Alaska?
I don't know, 18.
Because that's what she got. Alaska first. She was
Come on.
Washington.
It was George Washington, yes. 10 points for this. Beset by war, tropical storms and plagues of insomnia, the fictional town of Macondo is a central...
St Edmund Zoo.
Colombia.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Is a central location in which multi-generator... And at the gong... St Edmund's College, Cambridge have 105, but Magdalene College, Oxford have 185. Well, bad luck. You had some really good answers there, St Edmunds, but not enough of them to come back as the winning team, and probably, I suspect, not as one of the 4 highest-scoring losers, but we'll see. Magdalene, 185, well done. We shall look forward to seeing you in round 2. I hope you can join us next time, but until then, it's goodbye from St Edmunds College, Cambridge.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Magdalene College, Oxford.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.